Hello, hello who? Yeah, well, you guys, YouTube, all that, nerds. So, I'm completely unprepared, as you can tell, go into more stuff. This is a 360 video, which I'm not going to do too many of these because they could get slightly annoying. On the other hand, it's kind of cool. So, if you're seeing the floor right now, please take your phone and move it around. Or take your mouse on YouTube, which is not the coolest way to watch these, and find me or whatever you want to see. You can listen to me or not. You can look at pretty guitars if you want to, if you find some. So that's what's going on. Hey, here's a rant. I'm gonna walk around, because when I'm on the phone, I walk around. Now I can actually walk around, which is cool. So, first of all, coffee. Everything tastes better with dog hair in it. Let me drink some coffee. I know, Michiel, I'm slurping. Shut fuck up. Because Michiel comments and says, "What's with the slurping? Me, me, me." Well, I drink coffee and it's hot, so I gotta slurp it. Was that better? Hey, let's talk about brands. Look, we all love our brands. We do. I see orange, I have a certain thing in my head. You know? Like this amp. Engel. Metal! Of course. Or, I mean, you know, we see, that's going to be a topic here, we see Marshall. And a lot of history and a lot of weight is attached to that name. I understand that. And you know what? I'm not a big Marshall fan, but since this has been parked here, it's going to be picked up on Thursday. It's like, oh yeah, I have a Marshall in my rack. It feels cool. For some reason, it feels really cool. Friedman. We all kind of covered, we want a Friedman amp. Why? Well, because it's Friedman, and the good people play them, and the awesome people play them, and it's rock and roll, and it has that rock and roll feel with the gold plate and the cool offset and the logo. Yes, absolutely. So we love our brands. In this AC40, that's nice. What is it? It's a Vox. It's just a very nicely high quality built Vox. But then you look at this Vox with its plasticky kind of gold icky logo. But yet still, it's an AC30, and that makes me happy. A lot of what we do is emotion driven, not brain driven, not reason driven. If we bought and played with reason, it wouldn't make sense. If I played everything I do, which a lot of what I do like that, which is stupid, you can't follow me, play with reason and only follow the rules, well, that's cool, but it's not gonna result in the most amazing music. It's gotta be emotion driven. I'm mad, I hit the damn strings, and that emotion comes from things that happen to me, but also how I feel about the gear I play. So when a guitar's beat up, like this LSL over there, or of course the McMull, and you know, some other beat up guitars, that makes you feel something. So feeling and what you feel about gear is 90% of the gig. Any old overdrive can do what it needs to do. Any tube screamer can do the job, really. But why do I have that 385 on the table here? Walrus Audio 385. Well, because I feel good about it. And it does the sound of this old projector. Does it really? I don't know. But I feel good about it, because it's something cool, something, the story is right. That's it. It's about the story. Now, why am I talking about brands? Walking around sipping my coffee. Because the ridiculity, and that's a word, the ridiculousness, I think ridiculity is better, of how many of you, no, not how many, how many of you are still attached to that certain brands, have to be the end all be all of everything, is fucking ridiculous. Now we all know I like Harley Benton. For the price, people! I mean, come on. Is a Harley Benton gonna be as good as my Famous Master build or any of those Music Man guitars or the Baruman. No, because they're $250 or $169. But for that price, it's freaking ridiculous. Now here we have €139 bass. Why am I going over here? The camera's everywhere. €139. It functions, it stays in tune. Sounds like a jazz bass. That's absolutely phenomenal. Now, if I take this and compare it to a Squier, which is a brand name, everyone's gonna hear that the Squier is so much better. Which is freaking ridiculous. The Squier is made in China too. Or Korea, or Indonesia, or Vietnam, whatever. It's an Asian-made instrument. Costs more money. Why does it cost more money? Because Squier is gonna go and they have to get it here somehow, just like Harley Benton has to get it here somehow. But Fender/Squier wants to make some money, which means they're gonna take a cut. And if there's a distributor, which in this case there isn't, they will take a cut. And every time they take a cut, the price goes up. Every time the price goes up, that price is going to be the one that's going to be taxed on. Which means the 19% tax that we have here is going to be, going up the more people want to cut. In the end, the Squier for, let's say, twice the money, if you can even get a Squier for twice the money, I think you can, is not going to be qualitatively, that's not a word, even if I want to make it up, that's not one. It's not going to be better than this because essentially they're spending the same money in the factory. But this is not about China versus other things. I'm just trying to illustrate how many of you want to hear the Squier/Fender, Mexico, whatever, to be better than the Harley Benton because for them Harley Benton's not a brand. Now, let's go into the Super Mod. This thing. I'm going to walk up here. Follow me. This thing. My Harley Benton Super Mod. Was $249. Many people got in my case. Why are you spending so much money on it? What, dude? I didn't put the money in it. Okay, the pickups, which are very expensive, I got from Fishman. Hardware and everything, Thomann donated, and the time and the fretwork Thomann donated because it was a project. We wanted to see what can happen. We wanted to show how good can you make this guitar with the basis that it is. So no, everyone's like, well, it's not going to be worth $1,500 because you wasted your money because you can never sell it for that. It's an experiment. I do guitar reviews. I mean, we talk about these things. We have cool projects that we do. Am I going to spend the money on it? No. Did I do it to sell it for that price? No. So, and because I was at Thomann, I took it in a room and compared it to a Gibson. Worth $1,800. And interestingly enough, the mic that was on the cab wasn't on because I had the wireless hooked up wrong. This mic was on. Okay?
Hello, hello.
So you were hearing it with an Omni lav mic in the room. How much can you tell about the sound? Very little. So I'm going back and forth between the Gibson and this Harley Benton, which of course this has active Fishman's, completely different guitar. And the Gibson was set up like, excuse if I say that, it was set up like shit. Which I said in the video. So the neck pickup was way too high, meaning it was louder and a lot rounder because of the way that the pickup was set up. But it said Gibson on it. And so many people heard that the Gibson was so much clearly better. I'm the guy in the fucking room. I'm the guy feeling it, which is 90% of a guitar. I'm the guy sitting there hearing what comes out. Whatever I had to say didn't matter at all. It didn't, because the one thing said Gibson, the other thing said Harley Benton. Was it a fair comparison? I don't know. One's a cheap-ass China guitar with better parts. One is a, I'm sorry, badly built US guitar made by people that hate their job from the company that's being run into the ground. So, this isn't about Gibson bashing. This is about many of you seeing the word Gibson and immediately it's got to be good. It has to be good. for the money that the Gibson was, and the Gibson wasn't a bad guitar in any way, it was a decent guitar. But for the money that they're asking, I would buy a Maybach, hands down, every second of the day because they're well built. Great sounding guitars. I would buy a Schecter single cut. I would buy a PRS SE, actually 2 of them. Or a PRS S2, but I'd probably buy an SE. I would buy, wait, $1,800? You could get a frameless Pantera team build for that money. I played that thing in China at the trade show for a long time, and that thing kicks super ass. Those guitars are insane. I would buy many other brands before I would actually buy a Gibson. Does it say Gibson on it? No. Does it give you that feel and the weight? And no, they're different guitars, but they're better built and they give me actually more bang for the buck. But yet, you see that name and it just had to be better. No matter what I experienced in the room, no matter what my comments were, you heard it with the lav mic, but it said Gibson, so it had to be better. I've been playing that Harley Benton SE550 Supermod in videos, in tracks. That's a phenomenal guitar. It really is now. It was wired slightly wrong and one of the volume knobs doesn't work, but that can be fixed. It plays, it's just great. But no one wanted to hear it because it didn't have a big ass brand name on it. The big ass brands are resting on their history. Gibson isn't even showing up to NAMM because they rather go to the consumer trade show where they pimp their Bluetooth speakers and headphones and earbuds. What the fuck is wrong with them? Come on. Orange brand name. They don't do that. They keep on giving us good amps. Slightly new things. They think about what else can they do that's cool and new. They also have headphones, which who needs that? Vox. Are they doing that? I don't know. They have this new tube technology. I think they're doing more of that at NAMM, I heard. So, let's go to amps. Wait, why is this? I think my ferret cage just blew up too high. I don't want to lose the roof. Could you see that the ferret cage was blowing up? You just go skip back a bit. Let me know if that was actually what was happening. So, I'm doing the Synergy system, which has the brand names because Friedman, Morgan, Dietzel, Soldano. Okay? See this? I don't know if you can see this. Friedman. Resolution on this isn't great. Friedman. It's all on here. So I'm comparing this with the original amp. This has been, the Synergy isn't some company that talked to Dave Friedman for 5 minutes. Dave Friedman is part of this. Joe Morgan is part of this. Stephen Fryette is part of this. They've developed the system with them. I saw Dave Friedman in LA a year ago, sitting in his workshop at Boutique Amp Distribution headquarters, tweaking these modules. So this isn't something that, Dave has said, okay, well, do something, I don't care, give me the money. This is partly his baby. So I'm comparing these, and then there are a few modules which do Fender and Marshall preamps, but Fender and Marshall didn't immediately jump on board. They were contacted. They're all good. They love the system. They have no problem with these types of preamps being put into the system, but they're not on board yet with their name and branding and all this. So instead of doing this, they're Synergy branded, and there's an 800 module, which is the Marshall JCM 800. No rules are being broken, no one's pissed about this, it's all above board the way that it should be done, not the way that some digital companies are doing it. And I'm comparing this 800 module, which I didn't tell you in the video, I'm going to tell you now. Dave Friedman developed. Oh, all of a sudden it sounds good, what? Huh? In that video where I'm comparing it to the JCM 800, everyone all of a sudden heard that the JCM sounded better and less compressed and blah, blah, blah. So you're hearing this based on a YouTube video, which, actually, I think the YouTube quality is fine, if you ask me. But everyone always bitches about it. So you want to hear that based on a YouTube video, based on not having played it, not having been in the room, sitting on the crapper with your phone listening there, or I know you're in the studio with your good headphones, but your opinion is that the Marshall sounded so much better. This is a stock fuck right now modern Marshall. This isn't a glorified, 70s, 80s JCM, one of the good ones. This isn't like one of the amazing models. This is a stock modern thing, which isn't necessarily up the speed of the old ones. Dave Friedman took one of his favorite 800s and put it into that module. Now, comparing those two, even with a different power amp, I could not in any way tell the difference. Sitting in the room, and then sitting in the room with this cap, which by the way matches my shoes, look at that, and the 800, and having the 800 module pumped into the power amp of the 800 through that cap, switching back and forth. There was a slight difference, but I thought that Dave's module sounded a little bit fatter and a little bit meatier. Talking about 1% difference. Now, because this one says Marshall and the other one says Synergy, which for many of you isn't a brand yet and means nothing, the Marshall had to be better. It just had to be better. Just like some China pedals can't be good. Just like Harley Benton cannot be good. Just like anything else it's not a major brand cannot be good. Even though some major brands are resting on their history. Like Marshall, what new have they done? What's Gibson doing? They're trying to reinvent the Les Paul. They can't put a freaking distorty thing in a $5,000 guitar, expect an overdrive in a guitar all of a sudden to make it better. Look, people, I love Music Man guitars. I think they're absolutely amazing. And they're really cool new guitars. Music Man absolutely does something that very few companies do. They make amazing, freaky-deaky guitars for their endorsers. So endorser says, I want something spiky and cool and different. And every other company will say, Albert Lee, you're an idiot. We need to sell this damn thing. No, they just did it. Annie Clark says, I want a St. Vincent guitar with this and this and this and this. And they don't kick her out. They make a guitar that anyone would have said you can never sell. What's happening? Now it's selling. The Majesty Monarchy is something I would have told John Petrucci, dude, we can't sell this. But you know what? They are, and they're doing it. So they are one of the companies that really works with the artist up to the point where it's like, what? Really? You want this? Fine, we'll do it. But nowadays, for some reason or other, they do these cavity covers on top of the guitars. And I don't understand why, because look at my Steve Morse, they didn't do that. They didn't used to do that because here, it's nicely, countersunk, as I heard it is called. And here, this is now. We have to hold these companies accountable. Just because it says Music Man on it doesn't mean it's automatically amazing. Doesn't mean that everything is brilliant. This has tuners from when Schaller made good tuners. These don't, because Schaller lost it. So, people, we cannot blindly worship a brand just because it's a brand. Great guitars nonetheless, but we need to go and we need to write them. We need to comment under videos like this, and we need to say, yes, I want to buy a guitar from you, but damn it, please work with a different tuner manufacturer, and what are you doing with the back covers? I'm still going to buy it because it's cool, but I'd feel so much better about it if it was countersunk. We need to go and, let Gibson know, let Fender know, let Marshall know, let all these brands know that we want their stuff because we feel so damn good when it says Marshall. And we feel so damn good when it says Gibson on it. Not me, but you. But we cannot blindly just worship them even though they produce the biggest crap. We need to hold them accountable for the crap they do. But you don't want to do that. I read your comments, not all of you, okay? But I read the comments under the videos and they are just blindly loving the Gibson over the Harley Benton because it says Gibson. It sounded so much better. No, it did not. It was a good guitar. Just like I made this into an excellent guitar. slightly different, equally good. I played them, my opinion meant nothing. I'm playing the Marshall, I'm playing the Synergy, and as soon as it doesn't say the actual brand name on it, it's Synergy branded. Oh, it couldn't have been as good as the Marshall. People, it was. Okay? There's some amps here, I'm not going to point at them, I'm not going to say what it is, but you absolutely love because the marketing they've done, the people that played them, all this, and it's absolutely amazing. And you know what? They're not as good as you think, but you buy the brand because you like what the brand has suggested to you. And then there's some brands that do phenomenal work from day one, every single product, absolutely ultra phenomenal. I'm not going to point at anything. I mean, I'm not, but there are brands out there that are really just, you know, every single thing that I've touched from them, not saying which brand, is absolutely phenomenal and I cannot find a fault in it. But they're not a brand, they're new, what do we know about it? And you'd rather buy an old ass JCM and feel rock and roll. I don't understand. Play stuff and judge it on its merits. Just like, I don't know, the new Metallica album. I haven't heard the last Metallica album. I'm just taking that as an example. It's got to be good because it's Metallica. Or certain bands have to be good because look, it's that band. We do good stuff, we do bad stuff. Musicians screw up, companies do good stuff and bad stuff. We need to hold them accountable for the crap they do so that hopefully we'll get better stuff. Just blindly worshipping brands is idiotic, I think. Just hating a brand for what it is also stupid. I mean, really. Judge the thing in front of you. If you can't judge it yourself and you watch my channel regularly, trust me, don't trust me. But you have to put a little bit of trust in me because I'm the one sitting right here in front of these speakers, switching with my AMPETE thing to the cabs over there, and I feel it. I have more information than you have over YouTube. Yes, I do have more information because I'm right here. So how does it punch? How does it feel? How does it react? How dynamic is it? You can't really hear that. You have to trust someone. Like the McMull. That guitar sounds phenomenal. Absolutely. It's my baby. I'll never ever get rid of this. This is a masterpiece of a guitar. And some people bitch about it. Well, it's expensive, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of the brilliance of it is felt. Luckily, some of it is heard. But how you feel as a guitar player changes how you play, which means it results in better note choices. It results in more fluid playing. Can you as a listener discern the difference between those strats on the wall? I'm going to call them all strats, even though just two of them are. Maybe not, but me as a player, I can feel it. And if I can feel it, I will play differently. Therefore, I make better musical choices, hopefully. And that means better music. Is it related to a brand? Am I gonna make better choices on a Fender? Well, some of you might. And even that means that, oh, you look at this, brainstorm. That means that, yeah, you're going to possibly be better on a Fender because it gives you the feeling that you're Jimmy. The bottom line, I'm just ranting about a lot of comments I got when it comes to, oh, the Marshall clearly sounded better, oh, the Gibson clearly sounded better. That shit pisses me off. The Gibson was a good guitar, it wasn't better. That Marshall is a good amp. I'm gonna say that, it is a good amp. I'm having fun with it. The Synergy module nails it. And you know what? If I had a choice between the JCM and the Dirty Shirley, it would be Dirty Shirley all fucking day long. And they're price-wise not that far apart. The Marshall's going away on Thursday. Dave Friedman can pry that Dirty Shirley from my cold dead hands. He'll never ever get that back. He's got to come here and kick my ass. Well, it's going to stay here because we have an agreement. But that is just, it's a brilliant amp. Does it say Marshall on it? No. Does it have to? No. Could it say Fujimoto on it? Yes. Would I feel the same about it? I don't know, honestly. But I should, because the sound is what should matter. Okay, I'm done now. Thanks for following me around, guys. No hard feelings. I love you all. You know that. Without you, the channel would be nothing. No animals at the end. Hey, wait a second. Yes, I'm gonna have to do some animals at the end in 360. We're gonna do that, and I'm gonna say animals at the end. Let's do that. Bye-bye. Sun shines down the world.